One of my band members is going shopping, and the other refuses to perform. This group depresses me.
The way I was only able to find 3 videos about this show on this platform is criminal. So I'll be number 4. Watch me plead my case for why you should have watched Make It Pop when it aired. But you know, it's never too late, so maybe I could convince you to watch this show now. Because I guarantee if this show came out today, it would be a major hit. I feel like if you watch K-pop Demon Hunters, you would probably love a show like this because it's that, minus the Demon Hunters, but more of like an origin story. But why am I still talking about the present? Let's talk about the past. Let us rewind to 2015, Nickelodeon, circa 2015, mind you. They were making a bunch of soap operas and telenovelas every single day, but for kids. Releasing an episode Monday through Friday. Like every single day would be a new episode, and if you missed it, oh well, because they were all connected. When it first started, I think I was in like 4th grade. Like it was just wild to tune in every day. Like y'all thought streaming services were good by dropping it all at one time. I think dropping an episode every single day is better. Especially when you have like 20 episodes, because if it was only 8, then that would be like trash. But like 20 days straight minus weekends of a show, like that's crazy. Have you heard of Every Which Way? Remember that? That was probably their biggest hit with this format by far. Everyone was tuning into that. Every Which Way had like 4 seasons, but Make It Pop, on the other hand, not so much. It's an underrated gem, and I need us all to be aware of that and to discover it and appreciate it and enjoy it. Even if it's almost 10 years later, like, better late than never, babe. Even if it wasn't that big of a show, I will stand beside her no matter what. I will be your number 1 defender, truly. Also, Make It Pop was apparently a Canadian show. I had no idea. I guess I can't tell Canadian accents from American accents because, I mean, what even is an American accent? Like, there's, girl, like, there's just too many of them. But I just figured, oh, these girls are probably from like the Midwest, like me. Nope. I think they're all Canadian. Maybe Megan Lee isn't, but I think the rest might be. As I get older, I'm realizing that some of my favorite shows were Canadian shows, like Backstage on Disney Channel. I was into that. It deserved more seasons as well. And that was Canadian. I had no idea. No idea. But anyways, let us focus our sights on Make It Pop. It is a comedy musical TV series released in 2015 by Thomas W. Lynch and guess who? Nick Cannon. Before he was known as the guy with like 12 kids, the most infamous baby daddy maybe of all time that we know of in like the celebrity realm, he was making girl groups, absolutely. He was also the host of Teen Nick Top 10, which y'all know about that. Like, oh my god, I used to watch that every morning before school. They would play Fancy every goddamn day, and I was there for it. I sure was. Back in the day, Nick Cannon was just in his bag trying to make shows in groups. Matter of fact, this wasn't even his first girl group. Back in like 2006, he had this group called Schoolgirls. They weren't very successful either, so that is unfortunate. So yeah, they were before my time and didn't last very long. But these Make It Pop girls, like they deserved better. Like I'm sure the other girls did too, but I did watch someone recap the show like a year or two ago, which was the first time I've ever heard of Schoolgirls, and it's spelled like really weird. Like there's a Y in girls. Like I thought Gru said it weird, but like how are you supposed to say girls with a Y in there? Girls? Like what are we doing? It is interesting though that technically the girls in Make It Pop are school girls because this takes place at a prep school. So maybe this was just doomed to fail. Like what is the definition of insanity? Repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Like, oh, damn. Not me clocking T. I'm sorry. I really wanted these girls to work. Make It Pop aired from March 26, 2015 to August 20th of 2016. Not a long runtime when you think about it. Each season had 20 episodes, which was pretty standard at this time before streaming really just took over and ruined everything. And there was also the addition of 2 holiday specials. One was winter themed, one was summer themed. So I think the 2 seasons and the 2 specials takes place within like one school year, and I kind of love that, honestly. Like, yes, give me content, draw it out. I would want to see more. And then what ended up happening was that summer special was not just a summer special, it ended up being a finale, and I don't think that was what they planned. Like at all. Like I don't think that was a planned ending. It was not. It simply was not. There was supposed to be more of Make It Pop. But alas, they just did not get renewed for a season 3, and that upsets me and my homegirls. Like what's going on? The stars of the show are Megan Lee, who plays Sunhee, Larissa Trinoko, who plays Jodi, Erica Tam, that plays Corky, as well as Dale Webley, that plays Caleb, the group's DJ. The group name, by the way, is XOIQ, and I am obsessed with that. Like, I love it. I bow down to whoever came up with that. Thank you. Like, that's just such a cute group name. Like, I feel like if this wasn't taken already, a real K-pop group would have snatched that up like real quick. Oh, I can see the schoolgirl concept from a mile away. Let's see what Google describes this show as because they could probably give a better synopsis than I could. Like I'm trying to work on that, but let's just read what Google has to say. Three teenage girls who don't appear to have much in common other than going to the same school come together to form a K-pop inspired band, clock it, in this musical comedy series. Diva Sunhee, fashionista Jodi, and bookworm Corky are randomly selected to room together at their boarding school. They soon go from being roommates to bandmates when they, with assistance from classmate and aspiring DJ Caleb, form musical group XOIQ. The members must balance schoolwork and relationships as they continue to grow the band, eventually becoming a sensation throughout the school. Although the show's events are fictional, XOIQ is a real band featuring the show's stars. And the music was fire too. Oh, they had bangers on bangers on bangers. Don't play with my girls. They are not flops at all when it comes to making good hits. They were hit makers, truly, but the audience just wasn't there. They just didn't appreciate them enough. In terms of their best song, their best piece of art, I have to say it is their theme song, which is the name of the show, Make It Pop. I mean, it's so catchy. When this show came out, I was like 10 and I just didn't really know what K-pop was, but they mentioned K-pop more often than I thought. Like I'm shocked I didn't get into K-pop after this show. I really figured I would have and should have looking back at it, but it went over my head because Miss Sunhee, which is a Korean name, so I'm glad the creators actually like gave her a real Korean name, is Korean. And she talks about K-pop idols and the whole K-pop aesthetic, and she does the egg and stuff all the time. I'm shocked I just did not open my eyes sooner to the world of K-pop. But you know what? Fate. I just had to wait a little bit. I truly thought the first time I heard about K-pop was in middle school, but it was from this show. So if anyone else can relate and you're into K-pop now, hell yeah, high five. Absolutely. And now I'm wondering if my friends in middle school that did try to put me onto K-pop because they were wearing like BTS sweatshirts and sweaters everywhere, I wonder if they have seen this show because if I would have put two and two together, I would have told them to watch this show because I feel like they would have enjoyed it. And speaking of the songs, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I think within this show, they have more songs than Blackpink. That is like startling to me. And this show ended around the same time Blackpink debuted in August 2016. Blackpink ended XOIQ's careers. I figured it out. I cracked the code. I indeed figured it out. There was like two new songs or so featured almost every episode. Like that is, you can just see the amount of time and effort that was dedicated to these girls and to this show. And what did they have to show for it? Because everyone ignored it. Like, how dare you? How dare you? These girls were supposed to be next up. As far as like a bias goes, I feel like my bias based off of what I've seen and based off of who I relate to the most, I'm a Jodi girl, 100%. She is the most sensible one in the friend group. Like, Corky and Sunhee are always going at it, bickering back and forth. Corky is just a little too annoying for me sometimes, and Sunhee is, but in different ways. Like, they're just too much for me. I don't know how Jodi stayed with him. I feel like she would be the first one to leave. Once that contract ends, she's like, yeah, I'm going solo. Actually, she's the fashionista and she makes her own outfits and stuff. So they need her more than she needs them. Like, she makes the group outfits almost every time. Like she is peak, she's their asset. She's the all-rounder, if you will. Jodi, I know my girl. Like that's Jodi on the track. Like hello. Basically in the show, Sunhee would not respect Corky's boundaries and Corky would be a little too flip-floppy on the girls. Like pick a side, mama. Do you want to be in the group or no? Do you want to show your face or no? I might as well just tell y'all some of the plot now. Let's just go into it. Balls with the walls, fuck it. I don't really have a format for this video. I'm just spitballing here. Sunhee loves to record. Like, she's a vlogger. Like, right when vlogging was starting to gain traction, like 2015, mid 2010s, cameras were everywhere and she always had one on herself. She was live streaming or making videos to Sunhee Nation. It was just her family members and her watching her videos. But hey, you have to start somewhere. And her having an account did pay off for them eventually. But here's the thing, when they started making music, Corky was like, okay, so I'm an international student. And when she came in, she had like hella security. So Sunhee and Jodi that were already in the room were like, who is this girl? Like, who are you? Basically, her dad is some businessman or something from China. That's where she's from. And she used to be homeschooled. So this is like her first time in school. There's a lot of firsts for her in this show. Like, oh, sister's just, she was thrown to the wolves going to a prep school as her first school. Could you imagine? I mean, she's rich, so I guess I can't imagine. But like, damn. So yeah, she gets into music, but her dad would not approve of this, so she has to wear a mask every time they perform. That ended up being the compromise actually because Sunhee was like, if we're gonna sing music, I'm gonna record it, I'm gonna post it, we're gonna get famous. And Corky was like, yeah, okay, but actually, never mind. But okay, how about this? Just edit me out, or maybe I can just do this, or you can just not show me. And it was just a mess. So they were like, girl, wear a mask.
Thanks. I'm really sorry, guys, but I don't think I can do it.
And they settled on that. But they constantly argue. Like, they're both just too much for me on different levels. But it's like, Corky, you knew Sunhee wanted to be a global star. So if you really didn't want to do this, then like, don't do it. Like Sunhee was destined to be a global star one way or another, Corky, with or without you, babe. I had to say it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love everyone. Don't get me wrong. Like, I be shitting on them, but like, I love them. You know, it's like a love hate relationship, and I just love characters where you can do that too, because that means they're dynamic and complex, just like human beings. Whoa, imagine that. It's just like sometimes Sunhee would be so insufferable. Like I love the diva like the next girl, but she was divaing out a little too much. She was a little selfish. But Corky was too. Sunhee would like insert herself in situations where she did not want to be in. You know what she has? She has main character syndrome. Bad. Like insane levels. But I can't hate Sunmi because she's funny and very dramatic. And one thing about me, I am very dramatic. Like absolutely, I can do the most if need be if I feel like it, but Sunhee's always doing the most. So sometimes it would be like, okay, ma'am, we gotta reel it in a little bit. Like there's a time and place. Time and place. Like the world doesn't revolve around you, mamas. People have other ambitions than being in the group. Like at one point she just wanted to go solo and have two background singers. I'm like, ma'am, nobody's gonna go for that. And the girls don't want to be your little background singers. It's not all about you. But you know what that means? Character development. So I tolerated it. I stuck with it. So yeah, I'm already mentioning some plot elements to like set things up, but let's dig deeper. As much as I love watching it, do I want to get into every single little thing? No, because I want you to watch it and form your own opinion and see if you like it or not. So there you go. I'm going to be going into main details about the show, so I guess this is a spoiler warning. So I already kind of mentioned the first episode when Corky shows up and Sunny and Jodi are already getting along and they're like, who is this girl with all the security? Like, who is this? Like, whose daughter are you? But yeah, and then initially, Sunny actually did want to be a solo artist until it was Caleb, the DJ guy, was like, actually, maybe you should form a girl group and why not have your roommates help you out? Like, see if they're interested. Why not? So I guess we all have Caleb to thank for this. So thank you, kind sir. Even though I will have words for you, I will have words for you, Caleb. Oh, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear from me. By episode 3, they're officially in a group, and I do want to commend this show for not having them be in a group in the first episode, which is like 20 minutes long. Like, thank you for letting them be individuals for a little bit before we got to see them get together. Also, because it would be very unrealistic if by day one they were all just like, you know what we should do, even though I just met you? Let's form a group. Let's go, let's get famous, let's make good music together. Like, no, what are you talking about? So I'm glad, we had a minute to see everyone get settled in, and then the idea just came about and felt more natural that way. Although in episode 1, they were already singing, and it was like that diegetic singing. They just burst out into song. There's music in the background. Everyone in the room involved can hear it. Like, okay, but I'll take it. It's Nickelodeon. It's a kid's show, okay? Like I said, when it comes to Corky, she wanted to conceal her identity so her dad didn't realize what she was doing because she's a very smart girl. She's supposed to be in the books, keeping her head down, being a very studious queen, a STEM queen, but she wanted to live a little. She wanted to have some fun, but not too much fun. So she had to conceal her whole face, which you could still tell it was her. Like, the mask was not masking that well. Like I could tell. I know who you are. Also, you're telling me that everyone at the school is starting to see that two of your roommates are in a group, and the third one just decided not to do it, even though all three of them hang out and walk around together and sing together all the time. Everyone at this prep school, dumb. Like, revoke their tuition. You're really telling me no one at McKendrick Prep recognized you before, like, your identity was exposed? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. The whole school basically learns about them because at Caleb's job, they hold concerts. I think either every week, every day. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But every performance, they get bigger and bigger and get more attention every time they post a song online. So during this season, the girls get into it with this girl named Valerie, and she is like the classic mean cheerleader trope. And then she, of course, has the dumb sidekick friend that doesn't really do much. I don't even remember her name. I'm going to have to look it up. Like, she's that forgettable. Sucks to suck, girl. You gotta be somebody for me to remember your name, my love. But Sunhee and Valerie get into it all the time, and I am on Sunhee's side because Valerie, you are too old to be acting like this. You're about to graduate, and you're being mean to like 15-year-olds. Do something better with your time. But it's mostly because she's annoyed at all the attention Sunhee, Jodi, and Corki are getting. Like, she wants what XOIQ has, but you just can't, Valerie. Like, you're gorgeous. I'll give you that. You're a gorgeous gal, but you could never serve as hard as they serve. And Sunhee's fame obsessed ass is just not gonna let anyone be better than her. So yeah, they butt heads all the time, and it's hilarious. Like, I'm actually still dying to this day at it. Like, the dialogue is really funny. Childish, but that's just what these characters give. Like, they're all just so ridiculous. And another thing they fight about during the show, which is very prominent, is they fight to be the lead of the school play. The school play is the backdrop for most of this show. Did not remember all that. I remember the school play was a thing, but I did not think it was this serious. But it's throughout most of the season. Like, it is the season. Another character is Jared, and he is just a himbo. He's a popular athlete himbo. That's Jared for you. He's existing to be pretty and dumb, but also to try to figure out the identity of Mask Girl because he just cannot let it go. And in my mind, if this was like in real life, I don't think a jock would ever give a damn about a K-pop group. I'm sorry, I don't think they would care. But then again, he's not like other jocks because he's also trying to be in the school play. You know who he's giving? You know who this is? It is the Nickelodeon version of Troy Bolton. We can't all be Troy though, I'm sorry. I did not like his character from day one. I just did not want him to be involved, but he just kept getting more and more involved. Like, Jared, leave me alone, please, leave me alone, free me from Jared. In my opinion, the school play was just not that necessary. Like, it was such a large portion of the show. I'm like, we're still talking about this goddamn play. I thought this was about the origin story for this group. Like, I don't give a damn about a school play. I want to see my girls get famous like Big Time Rush. I want to see them go through trials and tribulations. I want to see them write music. I want to see them perform. Like, where is all like the backstory stuff? Like, I want to hear the inspirations behind their songs. Like, at least in Big Time Rush they were giving that, but in this show, I'm sorry, they just kind of cut corners a little bit, and they were like, you know what, this needs more school drama. Let's throw in a play. There's singing in a play, and the play is like the Wizard of Oz. Like, we've seen it before. Like, if it was an original play, that would be cool, which they did try. Didn't work out, but still, I'm like, you could have committed. Like, you could have made something work. Make some shit shake. Damn. They were talking about this goddamn play, and there were so many storylines revolving around this play from episode 3 to the finale, episode 20. No, that's not what this show should be giving y'all. Like, why would you do this? Like, why would you do that? Why would you do it? Why? From deciding the play to putting on the production to seeing who's going to be the lead and all the characters, if anyone's going to get a part, it was just too much. It was too much. In terms of like what the band did go through that we saw, they were getting a lot of praise at first when the videos started popping off, and then they had to deal with things like their first hate comment, band arguments, picking sides. Like, there's 3 of them. Somebody would feel left out sometimes. Somebody wouldn't relate to another character as much. Girlhood things, you know what I'm saying? Having to live in the same room and see each other all the time, make music together. Like, there's got to be tension at some point, and there was. So I did appreciate them highlighting that. They were working on their group synergy, their style, their sound. That is like the best elements of this show. Like, that is just my favorite part. And I wish we got more of that because there's so much you can do with the band dynamic, but they focus on a play too much. Like, we're fumbling the bag, y'all. Y'all fumble the bag a little bit, but it's still great. Don't get me wrong. Season 1 is the best season. So if you're going to watch anything, watch season 1. But just know, like, a play does take up a lot of the show. But maybe you like plays. Maybe you like the theater. Because the theater director was a funny character. I did like him. Mr. Stark, he was cool. He was cool. Interesting things do go down at these rehearsals because halfway through the season, Caleb and Jodi started getting a little close when they were practicing and rehearsing their lines and things. Real close, if you know what I mean. As in, they start kissing. Like, they be kissing now. They are a thing. And this was teased since episode 1, so I can't even be mad at it. Like, their first interaction was Caleb helping Sunhee and Jodi out of a locker because they were trying to figure out what the deal with Corky was. And he was the one to open up the locker for them. And Jodi was feeling him, like, love at first sight type shit. Like, damn, she was sprung. She was already thinking this man was cute before she knew his name. Like, whoa. It do be like that, though. Like, the mystery of it all. Like, who are you? Like, what's her name? Like, it was giving that very much so. She just couldn't stop thinking about him. But then when he started, being with the group, she had to put those feelings aside. They became friends first, but then she just couldn't help herself. And neither could he. He was feeling her. She was feeling him. Absolutely. They really did have some cute moments throughout the season. I can't even lie though. Like I was rooting for it. I remember rooting for it. And I also remember, even though I was a kid, I was like, wait a minute. Three girls? There's a boy involved? If I've watched enough TV, which I had already watched enough TV for like 30 people at that point in one lifetime, I was like, he's gonna get together with one of these girls. It might not be Jodi, that might just tease that, and then he'll be like, no, I like Sunny or Corky more. But I was like, he's gonna get with one of them. Like, if TV has taught me enough, it's that straight people be acting straight. No, I'm just kidding. I was like, if there's a boy, he's gonna be shipped with one of these girls, if not multiple, for sure. Honestly, their situation is like an opposites attract. Like Caleb is not the brightest. He's really goofy, but good at what he does. Jodi is very dedicated. She's pretty smart, pretty logical. So, I mean, she can be silly too. She has her moments, so I guess they worked something out. And they are cute together. Like I like the swirl of it all. I'm sorry, but they did look cute. Like I was down for it. I was. At first, they kept their budding romance a secret from the group, but that's not gonna last long. Like you can't hide it forever. But there's my problem with it. Y'all are in the same group. Like it was just bound to not work out forever. Spoiler, I'm sorry, but like, damn. Like, this is why I didn't want this to happen, but I just knew it was coming. I always think it's super messy, whether it be real life or in a show, when group members date each other. Like, unless you're for sure you're gonna get married, which who is, I wouldn't even bother while y'all are still actively in the group. Like if y'all break up, it's gonna be awkward for everybody. It's gonna impact the music being made. It's gonna impact who's able to be in the same room with who. Like it just gets real messy real quick. And I was like, damn, like I hope they last forever and ever and ever. You know, I just saw the end was near or coming eventually because, if you get together in season one and there's more seasons, you gotta create drama in a relationship. I don't really think that's necessary, but shows do. I love a mixed group. I wish we had more mixed groups, but I see why K-pop steers clear from that. And just the music industry as a whole, because this is what happens. Like, it's a bad stereotype, but it's a stereotype for a reason. Like, this happens more often than it should. Somebody's gotta stop this, like, truly. The first holiday special was a winter special. Not that much happened. Basically, they were just stuck in a blizzard at McKendrick Prep and couldn't go home. Just had to, like, be there more and they didn't want to be there. A lot of things were going wrong. It was just a miserable, freezing time for everybody. And everybody wanted to go the fuck home. If this was me in my college dorm and I got snowed in, or if it was just freezing outside, everything was closed, power was going out, I would lose my mind. Oh my god, like somebody would have to take me to like a psychiatric hospital. I would lose my mind. I would be like, get me out of here. It's either this or I'm breaking the window and I'm climbing out. Which one do you want? Like, let me go home. The only really big thing that happened in the special was a new student was introduced, and yeah, he's gonna have a major impact on the plot in the near future, as in like all of season two. So he's here to stay. At least they didn't just introduce him and be like, never mind, we take that back. He never existed. Because some shows do that, and I'm like, girl, you're wasting everybody's time here. What are we doing? So, season two, we've made it. We have made it. At the beginning of season two, Corky is building this robot for the Think Fest. It's like a science fair, but like very big. Like, you gotta be real smart to compete in this thing. Like, if you're gonna show up with a lame idea, a lame project, a lame invention, don't come. Basically. Very woman in STEM, and we love to see it. Jodi, on the other hand, starts out by getting an internship with one of her favorite fashion designers, so that's like taking up all of her time. Because she just has to make so many outfits in so little time, come up with all the designs, everything. That's a lot for a high schooler. So these two have their own things, but what does Sunny have? Sunny has the group and the group only on her mind. Mama does not have anything other than this group. So she's like, y'all, like, we need to focus more on the group. And they're like, sorry, we have other responsibilities, other things we want to do. So Sunhee gets kind of fed up with them and she's like, well, fine then. I'm going to find me a new group. And that's what she tries to do. She holds auditions for a new group because XOIQ is just not dedicated enough for her. And I see her point, but they were very straight up about this being a side thing for them, not being their main hustle. So, I mean, sister, you should have picked different members from the jump then. One thing we do get, so I can't even be mad at this whole thing going down the way it did, is a bad audition scene. That is one of my favorite things in media ever. I love watching horrible auditions. I watch so many of those compilations of American Idol, X Factor, all that all the time. It's just too good. It's so iconic. Like I said, because Jodi is so busy with her internship, she starts forgetting about spending time with anyone else, XOIQ, and also her man. This, as it naturally would, create some friction between them. He's like, "You're not really spending enough time on me," and she's like, "Well, I'm busy. I gotta work. I gotta get this bag. I gotta get this internship so I get my name out there and I can become a fashion girly no matter the cost. So you're just gonna have to deal with it for a little bit." And he's like, "Oh, I don't know about that." So there's some friction there. Uh-oh, it's not looking good. Caleb starts seeking advice from Corky's robot because Chip, the name of the robot, of course, can give advice. He's like a talking robot. And he just wheels and rolls around and just helps people out. So shout out to Chip. He even tries being more romantic, but it's just not working. She is just not looking away from this internship. I fear that would be me. Like, I fear that would be me as well. Like, once I'm focused on something, don't bother me with anything else. Like, you're not going to get attention. You're not going to take my eyes off of what I'm doing. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Whether it be writing, whether it be schoolwork, I need you to back up. Like, you can back up a little bit. Like, I'm going to touch your hand with a napkin when I say this. Walk away from me. Sunhee ends up linking up with the new student, Link, from the holiday special. See how I said he would come back around? Here he is. It was him. Yes, it was Link. And lucky for her, he can play the guitar. And basically, she wants him to be her personal guitarist and make music with her from now on. He acts like he hates it, but I know what you are. I can clog it. I see you. I see you. You like to be bossed around, Link. You like a woman that takes charge. My hair is caught in my hand. But you know, I know you. I see you. You just gotta admit it, friend. You don't have to act like you hate her bossing you around. I know you enjoy it. More men need to admit that. They like to be bossed around. That is okay. It is okay. When it comes to family week, Sunhee's sister comes to visit, and apparently Sunhee has had an evil twin this entire time. This girl tries to ruin her life and ruin all of her friendships and everything that she's built with her band. Insane behavior, but she doesn't stay for very long, thank God, because as much as I dislike Sunhee sometimes, her sister was a menace. So I will be thankful this is the person we see on our screen and not that evil twin of hers. Thank you very much. I also almost forgot to mention this, but Jared and Corky end up having like a thing. Like they end up getting together. This was my least favorite couple by far because he's about to graduate. This girl might be a freshman or a sophomore, like, and he was obsessed with her and trying to figure out her identity and everything. Like, I just need you to leave my girl alone. I need you to walk away. He is also very dumb. And in a way, because he's older, I feel like tries to like use that against her in some ways and like talk down to her or like she's the dumb one and he's the smart one. And I'm like, no, it's the other way around, honey. Like you can never. You can never. I'm not a fan of Jared. I'm sorry. But anyways, when Corky's dad comes to visit, he's trying to impress him and it just goes wrong every single time. Like this man, sometimes I do feel like the universe is against him. So like I do feel bad, but other times it's just like, dude, like take a hint, read the room. Like why are you doing the most? Like leave. Just stop trying. Sometimes you got to give it up. This is why I can never be with an airhead. Like, oh my god, that would drive me insane. It would be cute at first, but then I'd be like, oh, you're like this all the time? You're not just joking? It wasn't just because you're nervous? Oh, this ain't gonna work. But anyways, after getting fed up with Sunhee, Link is like, I gotta leave you and make a new band for myself. So now you kind of know where this is going. You know, now there's gonna be two bands at McKendrick Prep performing at the same spots, kind of competing for attention, kind of like K-pop Demon Hunters. You see that? You see how it all just kind of connects in this way? Like I told you, like if you like that movie, you're gonna like the show. You really are. A few episodes later, Jodi quits the internship because the lady is a bitch. Absolutely, use a bitch. And also, she misses hanging out with her friends, and she's like, you know what? I can make my own fashion for my own group. Like, why am I listening to you? Why am I taking orders from you? Like, I can get into this later if that's what I really want. So I'm gonna focus on me and my friends right now. Bye. Like, I get her point, because that lady was very demanding. And when someone tried stealing her designs, like, she didn't want to believe her. Like, okay, like, yeah, I would be, like, done after that. But Jodi was still trying to give her a chance because this is, like, a big name. Like, this is a big fashion girl that she was working for. Like, this was a huge deal. But it was just too much. So she might have ruined her career and she might get blacklisted, but hey, if their group becomes world famous, then it doesn't even matter. So it's like, at least she had a backup plan. She's like, I'm gonna be my own boss. And I love that for her. Like, stand on business, queen. Like, 10 toes. Stand on them, absolutely, all the time. And then some tea goes down in an elevator because, as Beyonce said, sometimes shit goes down when there's $1 billion on an elevator. Let's pretend. Basically, Jodi and Dharmala, a member of Link's band, gets stuck on the elevator and they're like, uh-oh, what do we do? And then, of course, they're in there like all day. And when they come out, people see them. And now there's rumors that Jodi's a cheater and interested in Dharmala, and Caleb is like threatened, which I would be too. But like, if your girl's telling you nothing happened, nothing happened. They got trapped in an elevator. It's not their fault. It wasn't by choice. They didn't hit the stop button, the emergency button. No. So my girl gets caught in a sticky situation. There is gossip everywhere. Rumors are floating. I just feel so bad. Back to more band centered things because it took like half of the season for the band to get back together and actually like make music intentionally, not just like breaking out into their own songs and then splitting up and going their own ways. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is Make It Pop. This is about a K-pop group. Where's the group? They were just doing their own individual thing. So yeah, I was not a big fan of how long it took them to get back together again because again, this was airing every day. So every day you would just see them on their own little side quests and I'm like, I don't care about that. Like I want them on stage right now. Like they're not engaging in band activities enough for me. But then Sunhee saves the day and the show by entering them into a band competition called Band Blast. And basically it's a bunch of rival bands competing to be the number one band. So, they all want the crown, they all want the trophy. So, yeah, once that's brought up, they take a second to get into it, but it's okay because there was other shit that had to go down first. Caleb told you I had words for you. Use a bitch. Like, oh my god, Caleb. His idea after the whole thing went down with Jodi and Dharmala in the elevator, which, by the way, nothing happened. There was no lie there, no lie told. Nothing happened. Caleb pretends to take an interest in Valerie's friend, who I mentioned before. Her name is Heather. Did not mention that. Oops, because I forgot. She was so forgettable up until this point. Heather, she's like the blonde girl, ditzy, dumb, blonde, that stereotype. He and Valerie try to make Jodi jealous. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Boo, tomato, tomato, tomato. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I can never almost ruin my relationship because of rumors. Like,
because you were on an elevator with Dharmala and then you were hanging out together, and then I ran into Heather, came up with this plan to flirt with me to make you jealous, and then I heard you were asking Alex for help instead of me, and...
Wait, what?
Which part? I just said a lot of...
You tried to make me jealous?
Yes, but...
And that's enough talking for me.
no. Like, no. So yeah, that's a major red flag for Caleb in my book, and I have not forgotten that. So that's like one strike against you, my love. And Jodi even had to clarify again that nothing happened, and he said he understood her, and he was okay with it. Like, it's fine. It was all a big misunderstanding. So they forgave each other. They're in good graces again. For now. For now, because there's more shit that's got to go down. So it's time for the band blast competition, but it's a bit away, so they have to take a bus. And basically, the bus ends up leaving some kids at the school, like a lot of kids at the school that are going to be used for plot reasons. So now they're just having to wait around for this bus to come back, and Mr. Stark to like notice like half of the kids that are competing are just missing. Like, what are we doing? Not too much happens, but at the end of this episode, jaw drop moment. Okay, so Caleb, Corky, and Jared were like the main ones that I remember were on the bus, and like the rest of the group was just still there in school bickering the entire time and just being like, what do we do? How are we going to get there? Heather is one of the people that's just there, and guess what she does? She goes up to Caleb and kisses him on the mouth. Everyone sees this just in front of everyone, even in front of the principal, the teacher. She didn't give a damn. Jaw drop moment. Valerie, her friend, passes the hell out. Like, we're all just stunned looking around, and poor Jodi is like, what what is happening? When did this become a thing? And I'm with you, girl. Like, what? That was like wild shit. Like, I would have so many questions, but they made up. Jodi is better than me. That would have been my final straw. So anyway, during the band competition, one of the first rounds is like a band duet challenge, and of course, Link's group L3, didn't mention that, oopsies. L3 is the name of the group, even though not all their names start with L. It's just Link's. There's Link, Dharmala, and Alex. So I don't know where he got L3 from. Like, even Sunhee is not that self-centered, my love. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, that means, of course, their band and XYQ have to end up singing together. There was hella drama that went down because of this, by the way. But the biggest part of it, the biggest piece of this puzzle, Link and Sunhee kiss. I saw it coming, honestly, because I was like, this is giving enemies to lovers, but like I didn't think they were actually gonna like do it. I didn't think it was actually gonna do it in front of everybody. Well, everyone was snooping and they saw. They weren't supposed to see, but now everybody knows that there's something going on. In the next round, one of the random rival boy groups steal XOIQ's song that they were gonna perform. So now they're scrambling. They are losing it. They are like, what do we do? Where do we go from here? How do we move on from this? So the episode is about them dealing with that, and then basically they sing their song on stage, and also on stage, Sunhee and Link kiss again, this time in front of even more people. I'm like, so what are y'all? Like, I would be asking, what are we at this point? Because it was not confirmed whether they're together or not. They was just kissing and stuff. Girl, I'm gonna need you to put a ring on it first. Another big thing that happens is the girls get a TV deal. They are going to be mega stars on everyone's screens, which is like really meta. Like, if you really think about it, they're already on TV. During their bus trip back home, the bus breaks down and now they're like, oh shit, we're gonna miss prom. What do we do? They decide to make an impromptu prom in the bus lot where they all just stay the night. Like how long does it take to repair a bus? I don't know. I've never owned a bus. I've never operated on a bus. I don't know mechanics. But like they couldn't figure it out. They were there for like 2 nights, I think. Okay, so this show was every day, but it wasn't like every episode is a new day. So maybe it was all one night, and I just don't remember. But I just felt like they were in that lot for a little too long for me. Like these are a bunch of kids with like one adult around them. That's not enough. Luckily, Link and Sunhee finally confessed their feelings. Although Link promised Valerie that he would go to prom with her. Valerie, you are a senior, are you not? What are we doing? He's like the same age as Sunhee and Corky and Jodi. Like, what? Why is everyone interested in people that are younger than them? Oh, no, 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 no. Basically, I'm gonna rapid fire this shit. The season ends with a Nick Cannon cameo because, of course, it does. He just had to pop in. I mean, I would too. I would take credit for this shit, absolutely. Link is planning on moving to Australia and withheld that information from Sunhee because he was acting all weird and she's like, what is going on? And then he's like, I'm springing this on you, but don't get mad. I'm moving to Australia. My parents want me to leave. I can't do anything about it. She's in shambles. She's like, damn, I just got a boyfriend and now he's going to be ripped away from me. What do I do? TV producers are recording an XOIQ performance. Caleb and Jodi break up. Last 2 episodes, mind you, they break up. Like, damn. Like, what was the point then? I don't think this was planned out ahead of time or not properly because they should have dragged on that ship throughout this season. They should have just not been getting together. Because why are we breaking them up, having Heather break them up, having Dharmala possibly being into Jodi? Like, what are we doing? Like, how could you do this to me? See, I told you this shit would get messy. This is a messy show. Like, this was truly a soap opera. This was a drama. They were serving drama. But Caleb, you and me, we're going to have beef forever because you are being a little too jealous for my liking. I'm not having it. I'm not forgiving you. I'm not. There was nothing going on between your girlfriend and Dharmala until you started trying to make her jealous. So, of course, if I were her, I would start looking at him as an option too, but I really don't think she did. I think she considered it, but she wasn't like serious about it until you and Heather kissed. And then she was like, you know what? If Dharmala is interested in me, I might entertain it. I would too. Jodi, I'm on your side 100%. Like, Caleb, if you weren't being a little schemer and a deceiver behind her back, none of this would have happened. Like, none of this would have happened. You were playing with Heather, you were playing with Jodi. Caleb, I don't like you. I really like the rival band portion of the show. Like, that should have been the main focus the entire time. Like, how are you going to throw that in the last 10 episodes? Like, that's what it should have been giving. Because they ended season 1 on such a high. The group is together, they're going great, they're starting to get more views, they're becoming more popular, they're all living it up. You know, they have romantic interests, minus Sunhee until the special. The group had a great start. They have a bright future. And then immediately after that is when L3 should have been introduced to like rival them from the jump. And then they do the rival band competition. I feel like that would have just been better. Like that would have been really, like you really would have been able to see who is the best after growth and having them be a thing for longer, competing for longer. Or maybe if they were focusing on the rival competition the entire time, they could have been seeing clips and things from other groups that were out there and what kind of music they were making and maybe like elevating their sound, comparing themselves to other people, realizing they're much more inexperienced than a lot of the bands in the competition and being like, how do we get better as a group from here? How do we train to be better? I feel like that would have been fantastic instead of the whole, like, I get it. They're individuals and you want to show off and highlight that. But at the same time, at this point in season 2, they need to be more locked in. Like that should have been season 1 behavior. The very last episode we got from the show, which I do not think was intended to be the last episode at all, was a summer special. Basically, XOIQ want to stay at a very expensive, exclusive resort, but they end up doing some shit that was not included in their package, so now they owe $1,000, so they have to be an in-house band. This honestly gives Zach and Cody vibes because the only reason they were able to stay in that nice hotel is because their mom was a singer for the Tipton. Like, wow, like the parallels here? I love it though, I can't lie. The main plot here is that the resort manager is trying to change their sound up and they are not having it. But the resort manager is like, if you want to be paid, you got to make the music that I want you to make. And the girls are like, what about individuality? What about creativity? What about actual good music? The group has to defend their right to not alter their sound or change up their style or anything like that while also getting paid. This was not the greatest note for the show to go out on, but it was cute. It was a cute ending, I guess, because it was bright, fun, summery vibes. Like, I love a little summer special. And also, jump scare because JoJo Siwa was in this. This was around the time where she was big on Nickelodeon. Like, she was a guest star in this. She looks very different now. Like, we used to have JoJo with the Bobo, and I get she's grown now, but what is going on right now? I couldn't tell you who this is. I can't tell you who this new JoJo Siwa is. I don't know her. I don't know her. I definitely do not think the show should have ended with that summer special, but when you look at the views, it just wasn't that much compared to other things at the time. Like the series premiere of Every Which Way had 2.10 million viewers. Meanwhile, first episode of Make It Pop had 1.29 million viewers. Season 2 of Every Which Way averaged like 1.6 million viewers. And season 3 had a premiere of 1.66 million viewers. Make It Pop, on the other hand, season 2 had about 1.46 million viewers. So, it just wasn't as popular, and that is so unfortunate. And I think a part of it is due to the rise of streaming. Like, Netflix was really starting to blow up and take over at this time. Hulu was getting more prominent in pop culture. Like, streaming just kind of took this show out. Now, at the end of the summer special, there was a cliffhanger where the show could have been picked up because the girls were able to choose to go on a world tour or continue at McKendrick Prep. I think they definitely, if the show lasted, would have gone on the world tour as they should because the group was getting more popular, but because it was set at the school, you just couldn't really feel the impact of that. Like, yeah, you could see the views, but like they weren't being surrounded by fans at the school. Like, fans weren't trying to like figure out what they wear and copying them, what they smell like, trying to get their perfume, try to send letters and stuff like that. Like, you just couldn't really feel the fandom aspect of it. When you compare it to another Nickelodeon show about a group, Big Time Rush, you could feel it. You could just tell like they were blowing up and getting huge. And the fans were getting wilder and wilder. Like, the only fans of the girls that we really saw were their own classmates, but then again, a lot of them were making fun of them for it. So it's like, like the comments online are a big thing, but I need to see some action in real life. And we just didn't really get that from the show. So I feel like they should have added more of that, like the fandom aspect, especially in K-pop. I'm not trying to get canceled, but like the K-pop fans, and I'm saying this as a K-pop fan, like I am a fan. Some fandoms are unlike any other fandoms in good and bad ways. I'm just gonna leave it at that. All in all, I have a lot of love for this show. Like, yes, I'm critiquing it, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. Like, if I turn my brain off, it's a fun show with good bops. Like, come on, y'all. You gotta give it a chance. There's more good than there is bad. Like, it's not really bad. It's just like little nitpicks I have. You know what I mean? All I want now is an actual finale. I just want a movie finale because like a lot of these shows are just doing movie finales. They're not doing a whole nother season, which I understand. That's a lot of time and money. But like hopefully, I don't think we're ever gonna get it, but hopefully we get like even a short. I'll take a short from the cast. I'll take anything. I just need to see them be successful and I want to know what they would look like as a group now if they lasted like 10 years. Like I want to see what they would look like as a group and what kind of music they would make. Like, I want to see the evolved form of XOIQ. I do. So, my headcanon is that they go on the world tour, they blow up everywhere, they become the number one K pop group in the world, and they just serve. That's all they do. They just serve looks. They become fashionistas. They have their own little side quests and careers. Somebody becomes an influencer and K pop idol. Jodi ends up creating her whole fashion brand, which kind of reminds me of Jessica from SNSD. Was that her inspo, or was this just like a thing? Like girls like fashion, so she'll be the fashion one. I don't know. That's kind of tea when you think about it. If you know, you know. And then Corky could come up with some crazy invention, and then they could use it on stage. I don't know. I just want to see a full ending because a lot of shows don't get endings now, and that hurts me and my homegirls. So yeah, hopefully I convinced you to watch this show. It's hard to find. I think some episodes are on YouTube, but you might have to go to other sources to watch this show. Hopefully legal, but like if you can't find it, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, networks definitely need to do better on making sure their shows are available on some type of platform because girl, I want to watch old shows. Like this is my childhood. Why are you robbing me of that? So yeah, if you watch this show or you have watched this show before, who's your favorite character and why? Do you have a favorite song? Like I'm just curious. Anyways, that's it for me, girly pops and boys. If there's any boys watching this, maybe hey, shout out to the boys. But yeah, that's it for me. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eat some birthday cake. It's not my birthday, but I'm gonna go eat birthday cake. All right. Peace.